All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome to today's webinar on where we're going to be talking about the secret sauce of simple video marketing for accountants. Now, my name is Tyson Cobb. I'm your host for today, and I'm a marketing strategist for accountants and professional service firms. And I'm also the founder of Practice and Pixels. We're a digital agency specifically for accountants, where we're the place that accountants come to when they want to be different. So our team of web designers and brand builders and marketing strategists have been working with accountants for years to help firms kind of find those distinctive characteristics of their brand and celebrate that through digital marketing that generates leads, that increases profits and takes their firm to the next level. But before we get stuck into it, just a few quick housekeeping things. So we have about 45 minutes or so for this session, and then followed by about 5 to 10 minutes of questions at the end. So please add your questions to the Q&A, and I'll try to answer as many of them as possible when we get to the end. So today's session is being recorded, so you will have access to it again in the future, should you wish to kind of view it again and revisit the content. We'll also provide the slides and any relevant resources that we mentioned throughout the session as well. So we'll be providing all of this within the next few days. Now, what's on today's menu? So you're here today because you want to know kind of how to create videos for your online audience. So we're going to be going through what video formats will work, that we think work best for accountants. The first step that you actually need to take to get going. So what do you need to do to get started? How you can produce videos at ease, right, without any complications, and a simple video setup that you can copy in your video marketing efforts, you'll be able to kind of just sit in front of the camera and away you go each time. So we'll also have a look at 2 firms who are doing video quite well, in our opinion. But first, I just want to talk about this thing, the play button. So this is one of the most compelling actions that someone can take on the web today. So people now prefer video content over any other format. Okay, you may have heard that video marketing is the way of the future in content marketing. Well, guess what? It's been happening for years. So it's now, it's not the future. It's already gone. Do I think that video is going to sort of kill that written content format piece? I don't think so. I think written content will be around for as long as people can read. But I just think that written content, like your written text blogs, they're competing in the age of the attention economy. Okay. If you think about your ideal clients, many of them would most likely be extremely time poor, and which not only means that they have shorter attention spans, but it means that they crave content that is easier to consume. Watching a video for them is a lot more impactful than reading something. 6 out of 10 people in 2020 said that they would rather watch online videos than watch television. I mean, this was a study done by Google last year. And I mean, that's a pretty large number of people wanting to watch online videos, if you ask me. And it's predicted that by 2022, 82% of all internet traffic will be made up of online videos. Now, the race is on for audience attention. If your competitors, if they aren't producing video content for their audience, then you have the advantage to win that attention of their audience, transfer that audience attention and connection to you and to your firm, and to start to build trust within the audience through the use of videos. Now, many firms are doing blogging, the written content to share some insight with their audience. That's absolutely fantastic. But the power of video over the written text is in its ability to make a more substantial impact with the message. The message that you're trying to get across in your content, it will have a better chance of making an impact than that of text. Okay, of someone reading a blog. This is the same study out of Google. Viewers will retain 95% of a message when they watch a video, compared to 10% when reading a blog or reading text. That's a huge difference. Now, that's kind of how the market views the effects of video in their behaviors and how they prefer video over text. What are the benefits for a firm? Well, the use of video content, it will boost your online presence with your and your conversions. You know, with the higher percentage of that message retention, as I spoke about, your potential clients, they're more likely to remember your firm, thus creating that, you know, increasing number of inquiries and conversions coming through. You'll have, you know, you'll be able to improve your ROI in your marketing. All that time spent on writing blogs and posting on social media, it's hard to get ROI from that time. With the impact of video, however, it's format preference amongst clients. It'll improve your ROI. Yeah. You'll build stronger relationships long-term because you're bringing a more human, that sort of human aspect to the forefront of your digital marketing. The more virtual that our lives get, the more we crave after something authentic. And video content can be a very authentic way to connect with your audience, because, you know, you're sharing knowledge and you're showing people who you are, that you know, you're the expert, and you'll effectively kind of enhance that credibility because people can see you and connect with you. And finally, video is a great sales tool. For example, if you're using Practice Ignition, then, you know, you can embed videos in your PI proposals, you know, giving you that more kind of personal feel, human touch to something that could be very wordy and very sort of stale in its approach. So it's pretty obvious why you need video in your marketing. But I would never advise a firm to just go and do video if it isn't right for them. A majority of firms that we sold on the idea of a marketing tactic and decide, I'm going to give that a try. But you can't just go creating videos for the sake of creating a video. You need to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And one of the best reasons for a firm to do video is to share knowledge and to be helpful to their audience in a very authentic and human way. Your video content should be achieving 4 things, okay? It should be reaching an ideal audience, should be maximizing your brand awareness, demonstrating credibility as a trusted advisor, and generating opportunities for new work. But to achieve these 4 things, you really just need to do one thing. You need to be valuable to your ideal clients. So instead of marketing that is needed by businesses, this is marketing that is wanted by clients. It's about creating, being a valuable source of massively useful information provided for free that creates long-term trust and kinship in your clients. The way that your clients gather information about their advisors has changed. Their time and their attention has never been more scarce. They're bombarded with, you know, marketing messages daily, thousands of them. Have you ever heard somebody say, when I go online, I like to see as many ads and messages as possible? Me neither. Because what people want is something useful, not intrusive. They want to be helped, not sold to. If you sell something, you create a client now. If you help someone, you create a client for life. So your firm must be considered valuable by being helpful through your marketing, so you can easily do this through your video content. You just need to remember to be valuable. But there are many different types of video content, okay? There's video blogs, there's case studies, culture brand videos, demos, thought leadership pieces, news, market updates, behind the scenes videos, video slideshows, animated videos, explainer videos, video courses, and the list goes on, right? From our perspective, having worked with firms for many years, we see the value in 4 types of videos for firms. Now, they are video blogs, testimonials and case studies, brand and culture videos, and of course, webinars. Webinars are a type of video format, regardless of what people think. What we're going to be focusing on today is video blogs for the purposes of this presentation. Many of what we'll go through can easily be applied to things like your case study videos, webinar videos, and brand videos. But today we're going to go through how to create video content and blogs that you can share with your online audience as a way of being valuable, yeah, as a firm, you know, by being helpful through your video content. Now, this is a simple process that we follow, that we always do with our clients, and you can follow as well. It's an easy to repeat process and very easy to follow. It steps you through the different stages you need to take to implement successful video content for your firm. So first of all, plan. So this is where you get all your ducks in a row, right? And then produce. This is the fun part for some, but the daunting part for others. You need to shoot it, edit it, make sure that it's all kind of come together and as a nice little video package. Then you need to promote it, right? Now, this is the fun part for most people, seeing your videos out there on the internet. And then you need to analyze what's working, okay? So you can focus more on what's working and don't do what's not working. So step one in this process, if you follow this process, then you'll have no worries creating video content for your accounting firm. So the first one is, where do you start? This is the planning phase, all right? Take the time to get this phase right. The best videos are created with proper planning, as just like any other form of marketing that you do in your firm, right? So the first thing you need to do, you need to decide what type of videos that you want to create. I'll always encourage firms to do video blogging, just because I think that is a great way to kind of showcase your expertise and enhance your kind of credibility as that trusted advisor. And plus, you're being valuable. You may want to do some market updates or industry updates, or even just some news about your firm that you want to update people on, whether that's a quick 90-second video or something. But first, you need to create what type of video. You need to decide what type of video you want to create. Second, you want to create a schedule of topics to cover. Excuse me. This is important. I'll explain why later, but basically you want to have a list of different topics that you want to talk about on videos, okay? Then you want to choose your talent. That could be you, that could be somebody else within the firm, or you may want to invite somebody else to come on and be a guest, and you ask them questions and they're delivering the goods, but you're still providing value to your audience. So you need to choose your talent. Write a script if you want to. If you write a script, you tend to read it. People watch videos to listen to people, not to watch them read something. So if you want to write a script, feel free, and I'll share some tips on how to kind of sort of get past that kind of looking like you're reading a script concepts later on. You need to determine what you want your video to achieve for the firm. So if, it could be just a general kind of you want to get people to download something, or maybe you want to drive inquiries for the firm. Okay, so maybe you got a stronger call to action at the end. Maybe you're pushing people to sign up for a webinar or for an event that you're hosting, or maybe you're doing a sort of like a firm update where you're trying to bring new talent into the firm, and you're trying to hire new people. So you need to determine what your video should be doing for the firm overall. And of course, lastly, practice. Practice always makes perfect. So get in front of the camera. You can press record if you want. If not, just practice, 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 and you will get so much better at what you're doing. Next, you need to start producing. Now, this step is one that a lot of accountants are afraid of. They may feel as though that they need to have the skills to record a video. I don't know how to set up a camera and record a video. Well, I say that if you have recorded any kind of video on your smartphone, then you most definitely have the skills to set up a smartphone on a small tripod and record a video for your firm, okay? You may also feel you need to memorize lines, but don't worry about this, okay? Just start doing, and over time you'll improve. Remember, it's your message that counts. Your content is the thing that matters most. What you're saying, it needs to resonate with the viewer. If the content is valuable enough, they'll forgive the non-words like ums and ahs. Sometimes that comes through more naturally and more authentic. Attention spans are so minimal, so you need to get them engaged quickly. Okay, everyone asks, how long should my video be? I always say, well, that really depends, because it does. It really depends on the subject matter of your video. People will stay engaged for as long as you can keep them engaged. Okay. If you just like, if you feel like you're going on and on and on to no point or to no end, then you probably need to start again. The viewer will stick around only if the content is relevant and valuable and your message is clear and you have a point. So don't ramble, just practice, practice, practice. and then maybe even record yourself once and then watch it again, putting yourself in the viewer's shoes. Now, let's go through some tips on how you can effectively or easily produce your videos. Firstly, batch your videos. Now, what I mean by this is if you set your frequency of doing videos, say once a week, maybe you could do once a fortnight or once a month, it doesn't matter. You don't have to record a video once a week or once a month. You can spend 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours producing one video after the other, and you could end up in that 2-hour gap. You could end up with, 8 to 12 weeks of video content. Okay, so batching your videos into one shoot saves you a ton of time and a ton of stress when that time comes up. You go, oh no, I've got a video that needs to go out this week and I haven't done one. You already have that batch ready to go. And then when it gets closer to the next time where, you're running out of those kind of built up videos that you have in your library, then you do another 2-hour session where you record another 2 months or so of content. Okay, so it just saves you a hell of a lot of time. Choose the right location. Now, this is something that a lot of firms get wrong, just because I think they don't put a lot of thought into where they're shooting. So if you can get anything right, apart from the sort of the equipment, the location would be one of those big things as well. So lots of natural light if you can. In this room here, we've got a lot of natural light because we've got a big window here and the light is just beaming in. We're only using a small light here, but we're getting most of our light from the window. Natural light will always win, will always get the best result in your video, okay? Always keep a minimum of 3 meters between the subject and the background. So that's between you and what's behind you. Never shoot in front of a white wall or a solid color wall. It looks boring, it looks cheap, and it's amateur. Get that nice depth of field in the background. You can't see it here because this is just a webcam, but if you use your phone or you use a proper SLR camera or something like that, you get that nice what's called depth of field. So that's just basically a really blurry background, but then the subject is nice and sharp. Okay, that way that the production quality is enhanced. People start to just focus on the person, and the background is just a little bit of a nice to have. But you can't get that if you're shooting way up against a solid colored wall, okay? Plus, if you're up against a wall, you get nasty shadows, and that doesn't look good. You can use your, avoid any rooms with lots of echo, actually. This is, put, headphones in all the time. People have got you in their ears. So you want to be able to be heard easily, right? You don't want echoes all the time. It can become a bit distracting. So try to avoid a room with lots of echo. Don't have too much background noise as well. Now, if you're doing it in an office, you may need to just tell people to just keep it down for, however long you need to do your videos. Just try to, if you're doing it at home or something like that and you've got garbage trucks, try to time it when there aren't garbage trucks coming through. I've fell victim to that a couple of times. And add some nice props and greenery in the background. You can see behind me here, we got some props and that sort of stuff that, look, let's face it, it makes us feel better when we come into the office, a little bit of greenery livens things up, but it looks good on video as well. So try to add some props in your background if you can. Now bring wardrobe changes. Now this goes back to batching your content. Now, if you're shooting, 10 or 5 to 8 videos or something like that in one go, you want to give people the perception that you shot this at different times. So you don't want to wear the same clothes in every single video. Just bring a change of clothes, and then that will give the perception that you've done these videos over time and not in just one shoot. And of course, you want to present like a pro. Don't stress with memorizing lines, as I said. You will come across more authentic when it looks less staged and rehearsed, okay? What you want to do is you want to look straight down the lens. Don't rush it. Make sure that you're getting to the point, but you're not rushing to the point because sometimes things could be missed. Use your hands, don't overdo it because you could look a bit silly. Maybe I'm looking a bit silly today because I'm doing too many hand movements, but don't look like a robot either and just stand there like this, okay? Try to use your hands to emphasize your points. Just rest your hands down here near your belly and just reference, emphasize some points that you're making in your video. Stand up if you can. I'm sitting down here, but if in your videos, if you can stand up, that would be fantastic, because people are a lot more natural when they're standing up, and they can kind of, just move around a little bit more on the spot. They feel a little bit free. If you're sitting down, you're kind of slouched and you're not really looking very presentable. And of course, smile. This is a big one that a lot of people don't do. Smile at the start of your video and smile at the end of your video, because smiling is contagious and it's a lot more welcoming and friendly. Now, this is the more technical part. If you can't do it yourself, you can find some cheap options online to help you, and we'll go through those in a moment. But once you've shot your video, right? You've planned it, you've shot it, you need to now edit it together. Now, some quick tips here. You need something that I suggest is to use a backing music track in the background, very soft, but just something to kind of pep up your video a little bit more, right? Use subtitles, because a lot of people watching videos, if you think about what they're doing during the day, they'll be watching it when they're waiting for a coffee, maybe when they're on the train on the way home, or on the bus on the way home, when they're in bed even, and the wife or the husband's trying to sleep, so they can't have sound on, they'll wake everybody up, so they read the subtitles on the video. And we'll talk about some options like a supplier online that can help you with that. And then a top and tail in your video as well. So that is a part at the start of the video, that's a little bit of an animated sequence, or just even if it's just a logo, but it's branded your firm. And then at the end, a little bit of a logo animation or something like that with a URL or a call to action. Okay, so a top and a tail on your video. Now, some software and support options for you. This is what we suggest for editing, for animation, for sound. Okay, so editing, if you want to do it yourself, you've got your YouTube account that you're uploading your videos to, right? So YouTube has an editor that you can trim the start and the end. Okay, so when you press record and you get into position, you don't want that in your video. Okay, you want to chop that out. Or at the end where you go to press stop record, you don't want that in your video either. So the YouTube editor, when you upload it, you can easily just trim it. And it's really easy to do. YouTube's made it very easy. And you just save it, published, done. Okay. If you're using your own operating system on Mac, you can use iMovie. It's quite easy. You just insert your video footage that you've just shot. You put a music track along the bottom. You put your top and tail that you've had pre-done at the start and the end, export, upload, and you're done. Same with Movie Maker for PC. It's kind of the same process. Lightworks is a good option as well. That's an online platform. That used to be an online platform. You can download that software. It's actually a pretty cool one, because they have a lot of kind of how-tos that they educate you along the way. So then you could end up becoming a pretty, professional video editor by the end of it. So Lightworks is a good example of a good option if you want to kind of start off at the basic level. If you need people to help you, Fiverr is a kind of an outsourced solution. Upwork is a better outsourced solution. That's something where you would shoot all of your videos, you wouldn't edit anything, you would get a brief just on a Word document, you would set up an Upwork account and just put a brief out there to the world, and you would start getting proposals from people overseas who would, you let them know your budget, and then they will try and meet that budget, or you'll negotiate something there. But the idea is that once that proposal stage is done, you pick your favorite editor, they just do it all for you and send it back when it's done. If you want to go next level, something that we use, if you know your way around the Adobe Creative Suite, Premiere Pro is the way to go. Animation and titles. So if you're wanting to do something a little, if you're wanting to animate text onto the screen or something like that, Fiverr is another example. Same as the editing, you can find suppliers who can animate text for you. Biteable is actually something that's pretty cool. If you want to do very short, sharp videos just for your social pages, for example, Biteable is something that we just came across a couple of months ago. And they have hundreds and hundreds of different templates in different sizes. So they got the rectangle kind of 16:9 size, and they got the more square version that you see on social these days. And you can subscribe to their platform and you can add your own text, and that's pretty much done. You can use their stock footage and everything, that's done. You can, if you're talking about maybe, tax deadlines coming up and you want that in a little bit of like a video format, you just put that text in there and they do all the work for you. So check Biteable out. It's pretty cool. Upwork, if you're wanting animation, great option. We've used them a couple of years ago, and I do believe that they're just as good now. Rev.com, if you want subtitles, Rev.com is your option. You upload your video, it's $1 per minute, and they create the subtitle track for you, and that's automatically added to your YouTube video, just like that. Okay, so it takes all the pain out of it for you. I highly recommend you check the subtitles before you publish it though. Sometimes we run into a few issues where Rev, only once or twice, where Rev has misspelled a few words, and that doesn't look good for anybody. Now for sound, as I said, you want a backing music track. Epidemic Sound is what we use. That's a subscription model. It's not the cheapest, but it's the best. If you want some, they got sound effects and everything in there as well. Envato Market, you purchase. That's just a one-off purchase from them per track. Same for Pond 5. Ben Sound and Premium Beat are the more kind of mid-range options for music tracks. So that's what we suggest from a software and support options perspective. Let us know if you kind of, want us to, I guess, help you with any of the video editing, because we can help with that as well. Okay, so now you've planned your videos, you've produced your videos. Now, there's no good in doing that if no one's going to see them, right? So this next phase is all about distributing your videos and promoting them to maximize your reach, your engagement, and your awareness for the firm. Okay. This is a very simple distribution plan that we've followed over the years. We tweak it sometimes. Yeah. But if you follow this on its most basic level, this will help you get into a bit of a rhythm with your video content. So you've got your video piece there, right? You upload that directly to YouTube because you need somewhere to host your videos. Don't upload them directly to your website because that's going to slow down your website. Upload them to YouTube, and then that top part, you embed it in a blog post on your website. If you're on WordPress, this is really easy to do. Squarespace and Wix and all those other website builders, it's easy to do there as well. You just get the link from your YouTube video and you just easily embed it in your blog post. Okay. After you've done that, you upload all of your your video to all of your social media pages. Okay, they're just a few that we know that accountants use consistently. But if you have anything else like Instagram or something like that, there's different rules for that. But upload the videos directly to those platforms. Do not link your blog just yet. Don't link your blog as the post, right? You want to upload the video directly into Facebook, directly into Twitter, directly into LinkedIn. The reason for that is that the way their algorithms work, LinkedIn, they want people to stay on their platform, okay? They want people to be engaged with their platform for as long as possible. If you post a link that links back to your website, LinkedIn's not going to show that to as many people because they're bouncing off LinkedIn onto your website. So here's what I suggest. Upload your videos to YouTube, to social media as well as YouTube, but upload them to social media. And then in your comments, you can say, to view the full video and other videos, click here. And that will link back to your website. Okay. You also want to email it out to your database. You want to be sharing it with your social and your email database. And then, of course, if you have a team, you want to circulate that to the team internally, okay? Because maybe they'll have some clients who will benefit from it, or maybe they'll share it on their social channels as well. One thing to remember when it comes to your videos, and for all of your content for that matter, right? All content should be on your website, on your blog, okay? All traffic for your videos needs to somehow end up back on your website, because your website is the center of all of your digital marketing activity, right? From a digital marketing perspective, the only channel that you have full control over is your website. You can, as I said, you can post videos on your social media for sure, but if those channels shut down tomorrow and you've built a huge following on social media, what then? What do you do, right? All roads must lead back to your website, your own platform, no one else's. This is where all the attention is on you and your firm, on your content. So once your video is produced, you should upload it to YouTube. And as I said, embed it on your blog. You want to add the video as a blog post. Yeah. Create some short text intro to entice people to watch it. Maybe just 100 words, if that. Give people an option to share the video as well, right? You want to maximize that reach. You want to give people the option to share, and you want to use relevant keywords in your title and your text because you want it to appear in search engines as well. Business Depot out of Brisbane, they do this quite well in their video content, and they tick all of those boxes. Okay, so you should check out what they do there. Of course, you want to email it to your database. When you email it, you want to include some short text, yes, but you also want to use a video thumbnail. See on the right-hand side there, that play button. People will click that play button more so than they will click hyperlink text or a button. Okay, so try and include a video thumbnail, which is just an image, and behind that image is a link that goes back to your video on your blog. Okay. And also you can have a strong call to action to watch the full video somewhere in your email newsletter as well. We've talked about this, but promoting on social media. So making sure that you're uploading it directly to social media channels. Tag in relevant people in your social posts as well. This is, if you've got a guest coming on, make sure you're tagging them. If there's anyone you think that you mention in your videos, right? You're referring to somebody in your videos, but they're not physically in the video with you, tag them in. Tag people in who you think might find value or is super relevant for, right? You just want to increase that reach. Use appropriate hashtags within your video as well, but don't overdo it too much. Add the website link to the full post in the comments. As I said, if you want to, you can see how, you can go to my LinkedIn page if you like and just see how I do it there with some of the videos that we do at Practice in Pixels. Ask your team to share it. As I said, more than likely they'll have some people on their networks that would find benefit in your video content too. And of course, it's a very much kind of pay to play for your content online. So you want to pay to promote your video content to new audiences. Okay. One thing that we do at Practice in Pixels is we pick one of our best performing content pieces from the month prior, and then we promote that through our key social media channels through targeting. So we use LinkedIn Ads Manager as well as Facebook and Facebook as well. And we target people based on who our ideal client is with that piece of content that performed well last month, because we know it performed well. So we're going to reach new audiences, and we change that up once a month. So then each time the same people once a month are receiving a different piece of content from us. You want to leverage your micro content as well. So this is basically where you're creating more content with less effort. Okay, this is where if you've got a 10-minute video, 8-minute video, 5-minute video, no matter what it is, you can chop that up into 30 or 90-second video, biteable, bite-sized pieces, and you can post those, upload those to your social media pages, and then link in the comments, link back through to the full video. This works really well if you're trying to kind of build a little bit of a narrative over a certain kind of topic. Say, for example, if you've got tax planning tips leading up to the end of financial year, for example, and you've got 10 of them, then you do the video of all 10, and then you chop that up into 10 different short videos, and you can post those one a day for 10 days, or you can post 2 a week. It's really up to you. Okay, so leverage your micro content. Share, as I said, share that micro content across your social media channels and link back to the main video on your blog. Okay, so now you need to know what's working. You've planned it, you produced it, you promoted it. Now you need to know what's working so you can do more of the high performing videos and do less of the videos that aren't really working for you. Okay. Don't just look at vanity metrics like clicks and views. We look much deeper into things like play rates, average time watched, lead conversion rates. A good CRM that's plugged into your video marketing will be able to help you with this, but that goes even deeper, right? Now, from the analytics, you're able to determine which videos are performing better than others, which subjects or topics are resonating better with your audience and sparking that kind of emotional connection. Now you want to do more of those high performing videos and related subjects. So you're a lot more kind of focused in your video marketing efforts. So you want to have a look at view count. You can log into your YouTube account and you can go into each video and have a look at these analytics, and it'll give you some good insight. Okay, you just click underneath the video. If you're an admin, which you should be, underneath the video in the main screen, you'll see an analytics button. Click on that. You'll see this screen here where it says key moments for audience retention and all those other analytics. Okay, so you want to have a look at view count, play rate. Average time watched is a good one. So then you can kind of get an idea of how long people are actually spending watching your videos, so you can kind of tell where they're dropping off. Time on page is something you would get from your Google Analytics account. Now, this is one that, it gives you a good idea of how long people are staying on your page for. If you've got a 10-minute video and people are staying on it for 9 minutes and 26 seconds, that's a good indicator. That's a good piece of content and people are engaged with it. Okay. So the next one is social media comments and shares. Everyone thinks that a like is a good measure of success. Anyone can scroll through something and like it. That is not a good measure for success. Comments and shares mean comments more so than anything, really. It means that people are engaged with it. They've watched it. They've consumed your content. They're starting a dialogue with you. This is what you want. A share is also good because then you can expand your reach as well. Okay, so look for comments and shares as an indicator of success. Now, think about this for a moment. Over 65% of content creators do not reshare successful posts on a regular basis. That's crazy, right? That if it's evergreen content, so if it doesn't have an expiration date, right, and you can use it, if it's around tax time and you're able to use the same video every single year, why not keep sharing it if it's successful and if it's evergreen? Keep sharing it on a regular basis. As more people connect with your firm through all of your digital channels, right? That's a whole bunch of new eyeballs that you can reach. So don't think that, but they've already seen it, but you're getting new eyeballs on your brand and on your content and on your marketing. So reshare successful videos and you'll know they've been successful because you've had a look at the analytics. Now, let's finish up with a bit of a shopping list of equipment that will enable you to, produce video content without having to break the bank or call in the experts. A few of these items you may already have, some you may need to purchase. As I said, we will be providing some links to some of these in the next few days to you, so then you can go shopping. So the first thing you need, obviously, is a camera. You can't shoot anything without a camera. Now, everyone has one of these. Everyone has a phone, and the camera on those phones are exceptional these days. Okay, if you filmed anything on your camera, on your phone, then there's nothing stopping you from filming some video content for your firm. Okay, you maybe just need to frame it up a little bit differently. But smartphones have exceptional cameras these days. If you want to step things up a little bit, SLR cameras, that's what we use when we're shooting our videos and when we're shooting clients. With SLR's cameras, you can obviously change the lenses. You can have a bit of a better depth of field, as I said before, that blurry background. They are a little bit more pricey, but the quality is a lot better. If you're wanting to step things up, SLR is the way to go. And of course, we all have, well, most of us, I would assume, would have a laptop. There's a camera on that laptop. So there's nothing stopping you from using your laptop as a video camera for your video content. Okay, so there's 3 simple options and obvious ones. The sound, as I said, people have got you in their ears, so you want to make sure you're coming across in a nice, clean, crisp way. If you're using your smartphone for your camera, then you can use these smart lav mics here. So these are from a brand called Rode, how you want to say it. Everyone has a different way of saying it. You can buy the one there on the left for, I think it's about $80 from JB Hi-Fi. Step in there and they've got them everywhere. So that just plugs straight into the bottom of your phone. You can have your phone on a tripod and the cable just running down underneath your shirt and clip onto the side of your jacket or up here on your shirt. And then the sound is extremely crisp. It'll be the best it could for $80, okay? If you have a guest on with you, then the next one over there with the 2 mics going into the iPhone there, that's the Rode interviewer kit, okay? So you can, I'm not sure if you can pick that up from JB Hi-Fi, but you can certainly get that online and have it delivered to you. So that's using 2 mics into the same phone, and you can obviously do videos on your phone at the same time, okay? If you're using SLR cameras, this is what we use, RodeLink wireless lapel mic pack. That basically, one of those packs sits on top of the camera. The other pack sits in your pocket or on your belt. And then the lapel mic sits up here, right? And attaches to that pack that is in your pocket. And then you can walk around. You can be 5 meters, 10 meters away from the camera because it's a wireless system. But the sound quality is exceptionally good for, that's about, set you back about $300 or so, that one. And of course, lighting, as I said, lighting, lighting will make or break your video. Natural lighting, if you can find it, is always the best option. The sun is going to be your best friend. A room with lots of natural light will be great if you can manage that. If you can't manage that and you want a little bit more control over your lighting, then you can use these LED light kits that you can pick them up from Amazon for about $350 or so. We actually have a set of these. We've got 4 of them. They're extremely compact. They come around these little carry cases that's smaller than a laptop bag. They're about yay big, all right? And you can change the temperature of the light, so you can have a warm light or a soft light. They've got batteries, so you can move them around anywhere without having the cables flying around, all over the ground. They're really lightweight. Great option for, if you're shooting outside, inside, it doesn't matter, but they're a space saver as well because they're so small, but they project a lot of light. So give those ones a go if you can. Now, some fun little accessories. Obviously, you need a tripod. If you're using SLR, then the tripod on the left there is the way to go. If you're using your phone, you can have a little phone tripod like this one, like this little cute one here. Or you can get a little phone connection for the top of the bigger tripod, and then you can stand your big tripod wherever you want in the room. The little one is meant for a desk. Okay, so if you just want to put your phone on your desk and there's your video set up, by all means. Now, I mentioned before about writing a script. This is how you get away with writing, kind of using your script in your videos. You would have heard of a teleprompter before. We do have a couple of these teleprompters that we use with clients, but you want to make sure that you're not coming across as like you're just sitting there just reading a script. You want to make sure it comes across a little bit naturally, but a teleprompter is great. It's a nice cheat way of kind of being a little bit more professional in your delivery, okay? This slide gear one, as you can see in the back, the camera inserts into the back, shoots through this clean glass, and then an iPad or a phone sits on the tray on the bottom, and you've got like a teleprompter app on that phone or that iPad, and that projects the text or mirrors the text on that glass, but you can't see it on the camera, okay? But you're still looking straight down the barrel of the camera, which is great. They also have that option for your laptop, which I thought was pretty funny, but it'd look a bit funny, but it does the job as a teleprompter on your computer if you want that. Great for webinars too. All right, so you've got the kit, you've got all that stuff, you've gone out and purchased it, you're ready to go. What's next? Okay, so this is an ideal setup that we recommend for anybody starting out. It can get more complex the more, depending on the size of the room, if you have windows or not, or how many lights you have, but this is a basic one that you can copy, right? And the idea is that you set this up we're always a fan of just setting this up in a room, and then, the only thing you need to do is each time you want to do a video, you walk into the room, turn the lighting on, put your camera on, press record and talk. Certainly saves setting up each time. It just wastes so much time. Okay, you can copy this one. Basically, as you can see, you've got, if you can have windows would be great. Never shoot into a window because you're going to have this big, disgusting, bright, overexposed area here, and then you're going to be too dark and they're not going to be able to see you. So make sure that the window is there, or there, okay? Never have it behind you. On the right-hand side there, you'll see a key light. That's basically just a light that is your main one that lights the subject, okay? Don't have it too harsh, and have it at about a 45-degree angle, up a little bit higher, so it's coming down onto the subject. If you're like me and you wear glasses, if the light is here at eye level, you're going to see the light in your glasses, okay? And you don't want that because then you can't see the eyes. The backlight there is basically meant to separate the subject from the background. So you may see in some videos, some people have a little bit of a light kind of coming up over their shoulder, just very, very, very softly, but it basically cuts them out from the background. Now that's really good, so then you don't blend into the background, especially if you're wearing suits or something like that, where you would blend into a darker background, okay? You want to separate the subject from the background. And as I said, the background needs to be at least 3 meters away from you, if you can manage that. We need a nice depth of field there. This is a setup that you can set up somewhere in your home or your home office or your actual office. And that way, as I said, you can just do your planning and then step in front of the camera, turn everything on, and away you go. Much easier to set up, much easier than having to set up each time. Now, framing, okay, how you want to frame your shot. Okay, now you want to frame your shot similar to this one. This is an example where I'm using my hands quite a bit in this video, so I made sure that you could see them, and I've given enough, we've made sure that we've given enough room for you to see my hands in that video. I don't know why I'm doing that now. I'm looking straight down the barrel of the camera as well, leave enough room at the top for my head. And there's, as you can see, there's a nice depth of field as well in the background, okay? So try and copy, and then the camera is at eye level as well, okay? You don't want people seeing that kind of double chin. It's never a good look for, well, it's not a good look for me either. So you wanna make sure the camera is at eye level, all right? You don't want it down, you don't want it up, so you're looking up, you want it right at eye level, okay? All right, so we're getting to the tail end. I just wanted to share just two examples of firms who I think are doing it quite well, who are doing video content quite well. The first one's a little bit different. They're not doing video blogs, but they're doing a lot of good storytelling in their videos, and I'm sure it's helping their firm immensely. The first one is Allin Advisory, excuse me. So these guys are actually doing case study videos. Now I wanted to share this one because I think it's different. It's refreshing to see in the accounting realm. It's great production value. So I dare say they've had some help from outside. Great storytelling, and it's user-generated content, which means they've got their clients to come in and talk about, their experience working with Allin Advisory, but their experience as a business owner and so on. So it's really great storytelling, I think. Case studies, they tell the full story, right? Testimonials only give you a glimpse. Case studies in video format, they're really that's next level, okay? Especially if they feature the client, So as I said, I dare say Allin Advisory, have made an investment, but it's a smart investment, okay? Because case studies are extremely powerful, especially in video format. Unless you're the expert, maybe hire somebody externally to help you out with that if you want to do video case studies. Another one is GrowthMD. So these guys specialize just in medical practices. So what I like about this is that it's just so simple. Kelly from GrowthMD, she does some nice, neat, straightforward videos for her clients. They're simple, but they're effective. They're very calming. They're very friendly. They're very welcoming and clear, and she's very non-technical in her content. She understands her clients, and I think that really comes through in the videos that she produces, which means the clients will stay engaged for longer. Okay, it's a very simple setup. Very similar each time. She's got consistent framing, great light, and the sound is good too. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's no fancy setup here, but as you can see, everything is quite nice, and she's got nice lighting. The framing is good, nice background, nice settings, and her delivery is really nice as well. So go and check out some of GrowthMD's videos on their website to give you a bit of an idea of how you can do it. Okay, because if they can do it, then you can do it. There's nothing really stopping you from doing videos. I think the only excuse that people have is I don't have time. But if you really want to do videos and do more content, then you'll try and find some time. There's always some time of the day. Okay. Now let's finish things up. I'll leave you with these 4 key takeaways, and then we'll get into there's a few questions that have come through. The first one is decide if video is right for you. Okay. You have to commit to it. Don't half commit to it and then you just do one every once in a while. Keep the consistency going, and then over time you'll just get better and better and better at it. You may start to enjoy it. If you don't start to enjoy it, you can stop doing it. Okay, but don't just half commit to it. Keep up the momentum. Get the setup right and the equipment, because it will make your life a hell of a lot easier in the long run. Okay, so get that set up right first. Don't shoot for the sake of it. Have something to talk about worthwhile, of value. Okay, don't just shoot a video for the sake of, oh no, I have to do a video because I've got nothing else. Make sure that you're doing it as a way of being helpful and valuable. Okay, and of course, just start. Just get stuck into it. And as I said, you will get better over time. Practice always makes perfect. Get the equipment right and just start doing videos. Even if you don't post them, share them with other people and get their thoughts. Okay, but don't procrastinate. Just get started. Now we've been creating videos for accountants for over the past 6 years or so. So if you want to explore how to do videos, or if you got any cool ideas for videos that you need some help with, you can give us a call, send us an email. You can check out all of the info at practiceandpixels.com.au. Now, questions. So look, we're almost out of time. So I've got a couple of questions here that I can answer. One here so Stephen asked, what's your recommendation for video length? Oh, okay, you sent that earlier on, sorry. So I kind of answered that in the prezzo, but yeah, basically your audience will stay engaged for as long as you can keep them engaged, okay? As I said, your videos need to be of value to them, to be helpful in a way that is, that they can interpret your message clearly. I think Kelly from GrowthMD does a great job at that. And as a result, her audience will most likely engage with her for longer. It all comes down to your topic and your content. If it's boring, if it's too hard to understand, then you may see a drop off of engagement quickly. It needs to be helpful, explain things in a simple way, be warm, be welcoming, not boring, and you'll keep people engaged for longer. But I think a general rule, if you're doing video content like blogs, video blogs, 3 to 5 minutes should be just fine. Okay. How often should I use video? Should I do videos? Look, you have to set that frequency for yourself. I can't kind of tell you that, but I know some firms that are doing it weekly. If you can do it weekly, fantastic. You can do weekly if you batch your content, right? You just need to set that kind of consistency up front. So I'm going to do weekly video content, but I'm going to shoot 3 months. I'm going to shoot 12 videos in maybe 2 days. I'm going to have 2 sessions. I'm going to shoot 12 videos in 2 days. That's 3 months worth of content. And I'm going to get somebody else to edit it for me, on Upwork or whoever. And that way you've got that content bank ready to go and you just upload them 1 a week. You don't have to do anything else for another 10 weeks. Okay. So I can't really tell you how often you should do videos. It's really up to you and how much you can manage. Any tips for coming up with ideas for topics? Look, there's a couple of ways you can come up with some. I actually get this question quite often. How do I come up with ideas for my content? Because accounting content isn't necessarily the sexiest content, but it doesn't need to all be accounting. It can be general business focused, or you could get a guest to come on to talk about something else, and it's still relevant. It's still helpful for your audience. It doesn't always have to be accounting content. But you could use videos. Sorry, some of the topics that how you could find some of these topics would be talking directly to your clients. You're talking to them every day. I'm sure that there's some common questions that are coming up that you're just continually answering over and over and over again for different people. If you find yourself answering this and your team find themselves answering the same questions day in and day out, turn that into a video, right? And then that way you can just share that with everybody. Job done. And then you can spend more time talking about, other things with clients because they're already up to date. They're already educated on that thing that everybody else is asking. Another way is I talk about often about creating your perfect client persona. I did a webinar with CA a couple of weeks ago on that. Basically, that's about researching your ideal clients so then you can create like a persona of that ideal client. And within that research phase, you'll kind of trying to identify different content topics or different pain points that you could talk to in your content. And that will really sort of help you fuel some of those ideas for your video content as well. Don't have time to go into perfect client personas today, but maybe that's another one. Oh, hi, Hannah. I didn't know you're on this. I hope you're well. So how would you suggest reaching out to your talent, partners of the firm, staff? They get squeamish. Yeah. That happens all the time that's happened all the time with me in the past as well. Look, you can only push so far. And I know that you're in the marketing space too, Hannah. So you can only push so far. I think one of the best ways that we've done it in the past is we've had maybe, I think it was a point where we had 3 partners coming in that we kind of only really needed to get one of them to do it, to get past their fear, because these other 2 were willing to do it, right? They were a little bit apprehensive at the start, but they came in. So when all 3 of them came together, we did one of the partners who really wanted to do it first, he was comfortable in front of the camera and everything. So he went first. The one that didn't want to do it at all, he went second. And the other one that was kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll do videos, he went third. So the guy in the middle who didn't want to do it at all, was very squeamish, he felt a little bit supported because everybody else was there kind of doing it as well. And he got to see that, oh, they aren't as polished as I thought they were. So maybe it's okay if I, stuff up a few times. Another one as well, if you want, is set up the camera and walk away. Just say that you can just approach them and just say, I'll set it all up for you. And you can just do it yourself. And then you can watch it yourself. And if you really don't want to put it live, if you really don't want to send it live, then we won't. But the idea is they're just doing it by themselves and they're feeling a little bit more comfortable just doing it by themselves rather than, because a lot of the time when people feel squeamish, it's because there's somebody behind the camera looking at them. So to get past that fear, that's a good option to kind of just let them do it themselves. Sometimes you just can't win and you need to just say, right, never mind, I'm not going to bother you anymore. So what you may be able to do as well is start off with bringing a guest in from an external, like a referral partner or something like that, to talk about something else, to talk about something that is still of value to the client. You could bring in a partner to, if someone's really not wanting to do it within your firm, you say, okay, well, let's get somebody else in. You can just ask them questions. And then we'll send that live we'll do a couple of videos on that, right? That at least gets them in front of the camera and gets them a little bit more comfortable. And then you can build on that. And then maybe you can float the idea of, let's do one yourself where you're talking to it. You could try with a teleprompter if you want to and see if that comes through naturally, but just kind of ease them into it. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Look, we don't have any more time left. What I'll do is for those of you who left your name, I'll send you an email with some of those responses, but I hope that's kind of helped with some of those answers there. But look, as I said, if you need a hand with any of your videos or your website even, or your brand, or your digital marketing, you can reach out to us at Practice and Pixels. We're always up for a chat, of course, or you can call me. Here are my details. But look, that's it for today, folks, for this session on the secret sauce of video marketing for accountants. As I mentioned, the recording will be available in the next few days, and some additional resources, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in, and please enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Tyson Cobb. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you again soon.